Do you share in Dr. Boache Adam's take as far as the economy is concerned? We've had the $600 million. That's the first tranche of the IMF money. We're expecting another $300 million come end of year. But when he talks about Ken Ofori-Atta re-strategizing when it comes to dealing with the economy, what is your take?
Yes, I tend to agree with him largely, especially when he's talking about the fact that agriculture has been declining, not growing. And that is a worrying trend because that is the base of our economy. And I also agree with him largely that Ken Ofori-Atta has become largely predictable to the market and market players. And you expect that he would have probably displayed some at least change in his approach to running the economy and to keep speculators guessing. But now you realize that people have understood that we are going to continuously struggle to meet our foreign exchange obligations. They know that we require almost 400 million to buy petroleum products and other things. So when we get money, all they do is take a calculator, do the numbers, and then they don't respond. So we have succeeded in creating an economy that has become largely resistant to economic stimulus, and we seem not to be able to nudge the economy in the right direction. So I agree that much as we think that Ken Ofori-Atta has the right to be finance minister and other things, I still feel that a change in that area would have at least given some confidence to investors. I generally don't think that we have succeeded in stabilizing the economy and we have turned around towards a more sustainable trajectory. All we have done is do like we have been doing in the past, that anytime there are inflows and there are receipts, we use them to subsidize dollars. That's what I call it, for people to hold. So that's largely the modus operandi, and that is the strategy the finance minister has adopted. And if you look at what we are seeing now, we are beginning to see even all the actors describing our economy as it ought to be. And I think somewhere last week, the World Bank finally made some of the right calls that it should have made in the early years and days of our crisis, that our economic challenges were anchored in domestic vulnerabilities, largely the mountain debt, the very rigid, what you call it, budgets, and the inflexible nature of government in terms of there is desire to cut down government expenditure and give us some fiscal space. You know, largely we have failed to generate revenue to at least even compensate for some of the huge fall that we are having. So our inability to generate these revenues, coupled with the continuous rising expenditure, is a huge problem and sends a bad signal to market actors. And if you ask me, I would think that a change in at the finance ministry would at least introduce some uncertainty, introduce some degree of unpredictability, and allow market actors to at least change strategy. As it stands now, nobody actually takes us serious. And I did say the last time government passed those 3 tax bills, I indicated that they were not going to meet the revenue targets because the tax system will have a constricting effect on the economy. Now we are looking at domestic consumption declining significantly. We are looking at investor confidence almost at an all-time low. And we are looking at a situation where taxes are crippling business, high interest rates are crippling domestic investment. If you take all this into consideration and also look at the fact that even our own projections are way off, you cannot say that things are going well. I believe that the IMF deal is already beginning to fail arrival because upon receiving the 600 million, it followed the trend that we all expected. The city gained marginally, stabilized marginally, and is back to where it was, down, sliding down once again. If we get another tranche, that's basically what is going to happen. And I believe that government's failure to follow its own predictions and to implement policies that will allow it to cut down its increase revenue, protect the vulnerable sector of the economy, and also increase domestic production. These are the words of Ken Oforiatta. This is what he said he wanted to do. But if you look at what he has done exactly the opposite, and increasing taxes, and also allowing the utilities and cost of production to rise, which has further made many of our industries vulnerable. So largely, I think that I tend to agree with Dr. Yedon that the minister has not been that imposing and confidence-inspiring figure that would have provided some form of leadership to the markets. As it stands now, I think that our targets and trajectory for recovery is already beginning to fail.
Right.